Click the links, join the channel here, become a member, or subscribe so I can mailbox want to mail me some comics by all means, or perhaps a cool winter beanie. Thanks to all those. So, Brie Larson's giant opening, sour tasting disappointment. Brie Larson's $6 million bomb. I saw this movie and that was a mistake. The had a few cute highlights with Ms. Marvel, and that unfortunately could not save this mess of a film. And then it turns out, as I did a little research, that the director wasn't experienced at this level of movie, which cost like $275 million. But apparently they didn't spend it on the writing. Someone in the comments said they could have went to India for the Fiverr or something and just got a script out of them. Honestly, they would have done a better job because it wouldn't have been feminist propaganda, which unfortunately too much of this was. But they didn't set out to make a movie. They set out to make diverse propaganda, which they very much accomplished. I thought the movie would do better. I was looking forward to it. Wow. I thought, oh, okay, hey, it's Hollywood. We kind of need to turn this around and start making some money. They just, I don't know. I just don't know how they think money works and how the business works. And like a lot of Hollywood people, they're just on a different plane and they're so heavily subsidized by a $150 billion company. It's like they think the money tree will last forever. And the people who are setting the forces in motion now are going to be retired when the consequences bear fruit, sort of thing. I guess that's what happens because it's like the comic book industry. It doesn't die overnight. You just slowly start poisoning that tree, and you know the fruit bears poison. Anyway, I thought it'd do better. I thought it would be better and do better. I thought there'd be more people in the theater, and you can look at if you go to Fandango and you select your seat and you see who else is pre-ordered tickets. It's like, oh, there's 3 people in the theater. Wow, that's weird. Maybe I should go see it again and give it a chance. But I mean, how many more of these reviews can I do? I'm kind of beating a dead horse. Unfortunately, the movie sucked, is what I'm trying to say. The only highlights of the movie were from the Kamala Khan character. I don't know what her name is, Ivan or Iman Vellani or something. If anyone comes out of this, she could get her own movie because she had some charisma and spark that I don't know if that came across on the streaming platform because they just don't have the budgets and the time. But if someone were to give her a $50 million movie, I think you might have a hit on your hands because she actually was the spark of the movie, which is weird because Brie Larson's this much better known name, but she's just so stiff and wooden. And again, I don't know if that's her fault. If you're a Brie Larson fan, I know some of you are probably writing names on bullets, so you can erase that name off the 30-06 that I know you're carefully engraving in right now because it's not her fault. I'm sure it's the director's fault. Brie Larson fans really are not wired well. Anyway, so the audience kind of felt the same way about this movie, and it's not just the movie's fault. The whole genre is just woke beyond saving, even beyond the superhero films. It's the same with Star Wars and Hollywood in general. It doesn't matter if it's streaming or movies, big screen movies, or even video games. It's like they're doing this stuff to everything. They're trying to get the kids brainwashed. And we have to speak out against it. It's important to make these kind of videos because this stuff is friggin' cancer, and the people behind it, I think they actually drink baby blood. Anyway, so they push all this diverse globalism, but the audience is going the other direction into tribalism. So this movie had the Thursday release, and it didn't do as well as I expected. I assumed the obese Marvel panty sniffers would be there to virtue signal for their ice queen, Brie Larson. I mean, I was there. I was the obese panty sniffer, but I was only there because someone got me a ticket. And I think we both kind of got ripped off for this movie, and I tried to get people to see it with me. That was a negative. The pattern was full, Ghost Rider. Nobody wants to see this movie with you. And honestly, it would have looked like 2 dudes seeing the movie. It would have been, so, date night? Like, come on. That's not cool. So the audience didn't turn out on Thursday, so everything hinges on today and word of mouth. And today's Friday, and how much Marvel and Brie Larson can shill on Twitter. And in their defense, the writer's strike ended like a day before the movie came out, and that was bad timing. They weren't allowed to promote the film, so that was rough. The only thing Brie Larson could do was do these YouTube video shorts where, I don't know, she's talking about like gardening and nutrition and fitness. It was just to get her face out there and remind you like, oh, word association, or Brie Larson movie. Oh, okay, it's fresh in my mind. But unfortunately, the movie sucked, so no matter the promotion, word of mouth was going to F it in the A. This chick didn't have, there's no, oh, why is she in the movie? She's black. Oh, okay, but why is she in the, I said she's a POC? She's a WOC? Yikes, my guy. Touch grass. Finger a grass what was that, Anna? She was licking like golfer dirt or something because it had minerals in it. That deeply disturbed me. There's a lot of bad stuff in dirt. Anyway, that is actually kind of disorder for some people. It's they have an addiction to dirt. I don't think that's what she was doing, but I don't know why she was in the movie. She was the straight man, and Brie Larson was unfortunately the straight man. The only kind of comic relief, humorous, lighthearted touch was the Ms. Marvel. But the chemistry between the three of them didn't work. You have to have three distinct personalities, and this chick just wasn't there in the movie, and I'm sure a lot of people are not going to even mention that she was horrible because she's probably at the peak of the. I'm not sure who beats whom. If Ms. Marvel is above the diversity ladder of this moniker, I don't remember her. I don't know what her real name is. Tiona Paris. How the fuck do you think of the Not what a stupid name. Okay, Bianca, you're one to talk. She didn't have a part in the movie. It was dumb. She should have been edited out, and maybe you should have thrown like an East Asian chick in there to kind of like a Lucy Liu character to balance things out, or maybe a redhead. I don't know. I mean, the whole movie was about how much they hate white people. I don't think there were actually any European people in the movie. If there were people that look European, I think they dyed their hair and they were like probably Middle Eastern or something. The whole movie was there's a whole lot of stuff under the surface going on about that movie. Maybe I should do like an Odyssey video. Anyway, so Disney said it made $6.66 million, which actually makes sense for the Moloch worshippers at Disney, but that's not good for the movie and Marvel and Disney in general because the bloom is off the Disney rose. I think you're going to see a massive restructuring of Disney in the next 5 years because, and I used to say like 10 years or your lifetime. I was like, no, I think Disney's going to have the shareholders are going to have a come to Jesus moment and try to look for a buyer to start changing directions. Because now when people think of Disney movies, they think of this race swapped and everything is gay and they're grooming kids and they're cutting their reproductive organs off and everything, all this kind of rainbow, except it's not really the rainbow, is it? Because the rainbow is Roy G. Biv, red, orange, green, blue, indigo, violet, 7. But the satanic Luciferian remake of that rainbow is only 6 colors. 6 colors. Is Disney literally a tool of the devil? Yes, of course it is. Now, Friday could be much improved. That's today. It's 2:40 Pacific time. So who knows? But right now it's tracking with The Flash with Ezra Miller, which actually was a slightly better movie because it had Batman in it, Michael Keaton from 1989. Fantastic movie, and I apparently was the only one who liked the soundtrack, Prince's Batman soundtrack, which I guess everyone craps on, but I thought it was great. I thought the guitar riffs in it were really they were just off the chart. Anyway, The Flash was a better movie, and it was fun, but Ezra Miller is insane, and that unfortunately doomed it because it's a shame because he does look like a comic book superhero. He's got great cheekbones, great, really, very lean, very, very lean. And actually, so was Brie Larson. She was really in shape in this movie. So this, unfortunately, is not tracking well, but I kind of get the feeling that it's still eventually going to make money. And here's my logic on that. Yes, it cost $275 million, but they got an English tax credit, so they only spent like $230 or $40, which is a big chunk of change. And plus, the advertising is probably over $100 million. So say they need to just break even over $600 million roughly. They probably will. These movies suck, but they have a half-life on streaming because people turn on, they play it in the background, and it adds to the Disney numbers, which I don't know what the Disney Plus subscription costs. So I don't think it's going to be a bomb. It's probably still going to hit that $700 million or $800 million, as crazy as it sounds. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 hit $850 million worldwide, which is actually, there's a ratio you got to take in the math of domestic versus international because the movie takes a bigger chunk of domestic and much less of international. So something like Black Panther was a huge hit because it made $1 billion domestically, and then it made some other internationally, but not much. But that's the kind of ratio you want where you have a huge, huge domestic balance. Where if movies like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 didn't do as well domestically, but they did well internationally, and they got to 850, you look at it as like, yeah, that might actually still lost money or just broken even, which seems incomprehensible, but they're just not taking the international take percentage as much. Anyway, so I don't think I even saw Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. And then there's like movies like Joker and Deadpool, number 1, which I think was like $50 million budget, and they did phenomenal. I still haven't seen Joker. Maybe I'll do a back-to-back when Joker 2 comes out. So there's just no point to watching Disney anymore. Everything is just non-white and everybody's gay. And The Twitter commies are saying that this failure of the movie is the fault of fair-skinned male reviewers. Except most of the reviewers are not from European males who are giving this bad reviews. And I think this chick is just vagina hurt that a girl power movie sucks. But then you start looking at the recent vagina movies: Ghostbusters 2016, Ocean's 8, I think, X Women with what's that girl's? Not Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence, Charlie's Angels, the recent Terminator, The Birds of Prey. Nobody wants to see this many women in. Oh, Eternals, was that kind of a chick-lit film? It had what's that face? Oh God, that chick who was in Tomb Raider. Something Jolie, Angelina Jolie or something. God, Disney's had just a bunch of crappy movies. Nobody wants to see this. It's like, oh, say Eternals. So it's like two 50-year-old women and a bunch of fat people. And one person's got a disability, except they're space robot gods who literally build their own bodies out of like carbon silicon meshes so they could make them perfect. But you made one guy 100 pounds overweight and one girl's got a disability. That doesn't make any sense. It's boggles the mind. It shocks the consciousness in its stupidity. Why don't you just go pee on Kirby's grave? What an insult these people are. Anyway, people are not into chicks, into these kind of lead roles. And it's not just me, Hugo Boss, not touching women, grass enjoyer. It's everyone. I mean, that's the objective audience. Even women don't go see women's movies. So it's like, you're going to tell them to go touch more vagina and go garden or whatever they say. It's get outside, my guy. And the people who say that on Twitter, you look at them, it's like, so at 20,000 tweets this year? And then if you see a selfie of them, they're all like 400 pounds. So the thing is, it's globalist propaganda to destroy the patriarchy, which feminists have been brainwashed to think is a good thing. Then you ask them like, well, okay, well, what do you replace it with? And then they kind of get confused and angry and they start crying because, women. So sorry about all the vagina puns in my titles, but I'm very immature and I just accept that, which is funny because when I was a kid, I tried to be as mature as possible and I thought other kids were silly for being, like scatological level humor, and I thought that was just so mature. And then as I got older, I got more immature. Kind of weird. I've regressed, but I just accept it. And I think this is the last video on Brie Larson, which I pretty much have to make because they make like 20 times the money what a regular video make, and that money helps fund my my love free speech network, computers and funds for the live streaming over on Rumble and Odyssey and DLive, and God, there's like a GTV and Cozy and Shing. There's like a dozen live streaming networks, and I plan on multiple massively parallel live streaming on all of them. Anyway, you can find that on Subscribestar. And if you want to make me see a shitty movie and review it poorly like I've just done, you can pay for it on one of the various links. It's pretty cheap, but to be honest, it's probably not worth it. Save your money because everything just sucks now. It's not even so bad. It's cringy goodness. It's just all vagina diversity and how much they hate men of European descent, and everybody's gay, and the two obese chicks in Birkenstocks. And you know what they do with black chicks a lot is they give them their own hair mostly, which is kind of cool because if I was a black chick, I wouldn't get on that whole what are they, the wig bandwagon. I'd be like, you're being played. If I was a black chick, I would go, we're being scammed to pay for something we don't need. And that bothers me deeply when people just pay for things and you go, you don't really need that. Oh, I guess you're right. You could bring your natural hair back in fashion if you wanted to. And that's something Hollywood does a lot is, they have their own subversive corrupt. All these people just worship Moloch. Everything they touch is just, nothing is as it's the surface level. Like everything they put out there is filth, and it's just what was that scene in Constantine where there's an anthropomorphic figure but it's made up of insects? That's Hollywood. That's like the Weinstein of Hollywood. It's like someone should, because you could use an AI engine now because I don't have any artistic skills. I can sculpt, but I can't draw. Actually that'd kind of be a cool sculpture. Just get a bunch of insects and make it the face of Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, it might work. That's the face of Hollywood. Like when I say they're drinking baby blood and worshiping Moloch. Yeah, absolutely. They really do. Anyway, just 10 minutes. Oh, I'm safe. Like, comment, subscribe. Support this channel. Why would we support the ravings of a tinfoil hat wearing Hugo Boss lunatic? You can do that on Subscribestar if you wish, and I'll explain further there. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to Vegan for the tickets, and I'll see you guys all next episode.